Okay, so I've got some good-ish news. So, High Court rules in favor of men tortured for alleged homosexuality in victory for LGBTQ plus Ugandans. So, you'll see why I'm saying good-ish in a moment. Last week, the Ugandan High Court of the Civil Division awarded $40,000, the equivalent of 150 million Ugandan shillings, to 20 men who were tortured by police after their 2020 arrests for alleged homosexuality. They assert that on the morning of the said date, their residence was invaded by a mob, among which were the respondents, that subjected them to all manner of torture because they were practicing homosexuality. Justice Douglas Singiza reportedly stated. The alleged actions of torture include beating, hitting, burning, using a hot piece of firewood, undressing, tying, bidding, conducting an anal examination, and inflicting other forms of physical, mental, and psychological violence based on the suspicion that they are homosexuals, an allegation they deny. So, were they practicing or were they not? And how the fuck do you practice homosexuality? I mean, that's just... Okay. The torture occurred in the village of... Oh boy, I apologize in advance. I'm definitely gonna mispronounce this. Kokonijero in the Kiangara Town Council, Wakiso District. The plaintiffs worked with the Human Rights Awareness and Promotion Forum, a nonprofit human rights organization. They filed a human rights complaint against the Kiangara Town Council Mayor Abdul Kiyimba, Principal Officer Philemon Wanyala, and the Attorney General. So I'm thinking that means they weren't gay, they just... And I mentioned this in my last video about Uganda, is that the way they framed the law, obviously this was before that particular law I'm talking about took effect, was even passed, is that your fear of homosexuality is to the point where two men who just happen to be living together or just spending time together is suddenly suspect. So men cannot have male friends anymore because if they do, it's obviously an orgy. It's just ridiculous. The arrests happened just after the Ugandan government implemented COVID-19 lockdowns. Even better, these are two men who probably just couldn't go out. So they are either living together or under circumstances they just couldn't leave where they were. And you're going to accuse them of homosexuality because they were in a situation because of COVID. Yeah, that makes sense. Based on the same suspicion of homosexuality, the applicants were then arrested, taken to Nikoko Nijiru B police station. Bear with me, I know that I'm really messing this up. And charged with doing a negligent act likely to spread infection by disease. Negligent act likely to spread infection by disease. Are we now calling sex a negligent act? If indeed that is what they were doing, which there is no evidence for, just two men who happen to be living together or staying together or whatever. Okay. He noted, this is this Singiza, he noted that there was little evidence given for violations of the country's anti-homosexuality laws and that the investigations lacked merit. Okay, now, who are you again? Singinza. Huh. I'm not finding out who this guy is. Interesting. Okay. The men were then sent to prison on March 31st, 2020, when they were again allegedly beaten, examined, harassed, and subjected to discrimination. Uganda has strict laws against homosexuality. The 2023 Anti-Homosexuality Act, signed by Uganda President Yoweri Museveni, I don't know, in May 2023, makes what it describes as aggravated homosexuality, including same-sex acts that transmit HIV, punishable by the death penalty, imposes a life sentence for recruitment, promotion, and funding of same-sex activities, and even bans identifying as LGBT plus in Uganda. You know, it's great that you're mentioning that, but that has literally nothing to do with this case. It has been roundly condemned by human rights organizations, members of the U.S. House of Representatives, President Joe Biden, and even Pope Francis. Again, has nothing to do with this case because this case came 3 years prior, but okay. Dr. Frank Mugisha, human rights activist and executive director of Sexual Minorities Uganda, said on X of the ruling, a Ugandan court has awarded 150 million shillings to 20 Ugandans who were tortured for alleged homosexuality during the COVID lockdown, marking a significant victory for the LGBTQ+ community. This decision builds on earlier successes, including a 2008 ruling for Victor Mukisa and a favorable judgment against Rolling Stone, a Ugandan tabloid known for its harmful publications. How dare they use that name? Local leaders and politicians have now been put on notice that if you beat up people based on their sexual orientation and gender identity, you pay from your own pockets, said Adrian Giuco, Executive Director of Uganda's Human Rights Awareness and Promotion Forum, in a statement to Barron's. Now, again, I'm unclear whether the judge awarded them this money because they were people who were beaten up and happened to be gay, or because they weren't actually gay. You know, whether there's some sort of wiggle room in here. I know this is supposed to be a good news article, but that's why I'm saying good-ish, because I'm not completely sure whether them not having the evidence that these people were actually gay isn't some wiggle room that it would have been okay if they were. In addition to the brutality experienced by LGBTQ+ people, Uganda's Anti-Homosexuality Act has already cost the country as much as $1.6 billion in the year since it became law, according to a new report by Open for Business, a coalition of global companies dedicated to LGBTQ+ inclusion. It is estimated that in the 12 months following the AHA's passage, Uganda has made an economic loss of between $470 million and $1.6 billion, according to the report, a sum that comprises between 0.9 to 3.2% of the country's gross domestic product. So, I mean, if you look at percentages, I guess not a huge hit, but still a hit. Still a significant hit. So yeah. Yeah, basically Uganda is and maybe that's a part of the reason why this ruling happened, sort of to say that see, we really aren't that bad on gay rights. You should start investing with us again. So that's a possibility too, because like I said, it's unclear to me whether this was simply because they couldn't prove they were gay, or which means that A, this is going to still hurt gay Ugandans who they can prove, or B, it just simply, if you are not gay, you are treated like this, you can get out of you can get a settlement. Now, granted, that should make people pause and, maybe not just go and beat someone up because you think they might be gay, even if you have pretty good evidence that they are. I mean, if that's going to stop people from being assholes and attacking some men who happen to be seen together without evidence, I mean, that is helpful. But, if you can prevent people from just knee-jerk reaction, that's great. But I don't know if that's going to completely solve the problem. Because, like I said, if they have evidence, I don't know, some video cameras exist. Everybody's phone has a camera. How hard would it be to video, basically make your own sex tape or whatever? So I don't know the extent to how much good this ruling is going to have for everyday gay Ugandans, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And if you add to the fact that the country is taking a financial hit from the international community, who are saying we do not want to do business with you because you are you are attacking your own people simply because you think that what they're doing is icky. I would think that would have more of an impact, but I don't know. I don't know how much this is going to help. I would hope that this would help the LGBT plus community even more. That it's even those who have evidence of homosexuality that is beyond a shadow of a doubt. I would hope that people will be less likely to share it for fear that it's not enough. I don't know. But yeah, this is still good news. I just don't know to what extent it's going to help the gay community in Uganda. I hope it helps more than I think. I really hope that people are going to think twice before attacking people simply because they think they might be gay. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some people are so full of fear and hatred that they're willing to take the chance. I honestly don't know. I really don't know, but I really hope that because of how big of a settlement these men got, maybe it will. Maybe it will deter more people to not attack people just because you assume that they happen to be gay just because, I don't know, they're seen together. Because, apparently in Uganda, it's now everybody has to be loners. You're not allowed to have friends. You're not allowed to hang out with coworkers. You're not allowed to be seen with anybody for any length of time because otherwise you'll be assumed to be gay. So men can't have male friends, women can't have female friends, and I'm pretty sure Uganda is still because still in the US, there's way too many people who think that men and women cannot just be friends. So basically, Ugandans are stuck not having friends, not hanging out with anyone ever. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully people will think twice before accusing others and definitely attacking them. So yeah, I believe that is all I have for this article. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.